Hello, Carinites. Welcome back to class. Yeah, remember in our last class we made this beautiful bell shape um pants, and remember I told you we'll be making 4 in 1 set. So we have one down, and we'll be making the next item in this set, and which is this beautiful bow top. As you can see, I have the spell design right here on the bowl because I have that here. So we'll be learning how to make this simple and straightforward top. Remember I'm doing for size 12 to 18 months, but I'll be telling you how to customize this to any size from newborn to 24 months. That's 2 years. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and if you find this video useful and helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And you can also join my membership plan by supporting this community. Yeah, so without wasting much time, let's jump right into the materials we'll be needing. So these are the few materials we'll be needing. We'll be needing yarns, obviously. We'll be needing more of white because that's actually the color I use for the top. I just use the pink for the bow. So I'll be needing about 1.5 ball of this. This is yeye and it's 40 grams. As you can see, it is thin, and I'll be doubling my strand. I'll be working with 2 strands, and this is the exact brand I used for the pants. So I'm using the same thing for the top. So you'll be needing 2 color, and you can decide to make it in 1 color. So yarn being sorted. We are going to be using size 3.5 hook, the same hook size I use for the pants. So I'll be using that. I'll be needing some stitch marker, very important. We'll be needing tapestry needle. Be using that to weave in our hands and also to sew this side. And also another very important thing we'll be needing material is tape measure. It's really important we need this. And also be needing a pair of scissors for cutting. And as you can see what I have on my top here, we'll be needing some pearl beads. I used I think 7, so it's quite optional. If you don't like it, please you can just ignore it and just have your top plain, which is still beautiful. We'll be needing some tapestry needle. I think I mentioned that earlier. And this is what the back looks like. As you can see, very beautiful. So that being said, these are the materials we'll be needing. So let us get started. So I'll be using this color white for my top. Remember the pants we made last week? We have it in color pink. So I'll be making the 2 colors I'll be using in the course of this set that we are making will be color pink and color white. So we're making my top in color white. So one of the major measurements that we actually need 2 measurements. We need the chest round, and we need the measurement from underarm to waist length. So that would be the length of the top. And we also need armhole. So but those are the 2 measurements we need: the chest round and the length of the top you want. So remember the pant I made last week was for size 12 to 18 months. So I'll be working with that size, but don't worry, I'll be giving you the measurement for different sizes. So in case you are working for a smaller or a bigger size. So that being said, we are going to be making a foundation chain, and I'll be making a foundation chain. The chest round for size 12 to 18 months is around 19 inches. It's less than 20, but we are doing for a bigger size, maybe around 18 to 24. That's 2 years. I think that's around 20 inches. I remember crochet stretches, so you put that in mind. For 0 to 3 months, if you want to do for 0 to 3 months, that's around 16 inches, and 3 to 6 months is 17 inches. It's just 1 inch difference. And 6 to 12 months is 18 inches, and 12 to 18 is 19 inches. So just like that, just 1 inches different. I also have that written on the screen. So one thing we are going to do is, remember, we are going to be lacing it at the back. We are going to be lacing it up at the back. So we are going to leave some inches. So if the size I'm making 12 to 18 months is 19 inches, I'm going to be deducting around 3 inches. Remember, like I said, it stretches and we want to lace it up at the back, so we need to create space for that, because if it meets at the back, the lacing is not actually, the beauty is not going to come out. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you get my explanation. So if I have 19 inches for my size, I will be removing 3 inches. So that means that my foundation chain will be around 16 inches. Remember, crochet stretches. So if you don't want the back to be that much, you can remove 2 inches. You can remove it. All depends it's up to you. It depends on you. But for me, I'll be removing 3 inches. So right now I'm going to make a slip knot. just like that. I'll make a circle and I'll put the longer strand in, and I make a knot. So with my 3.5 hook, same hook I used for the pants, so I'll go right in and I'll make a chain that is about 16 inches long. Remember, my actual size, the actual measurement I need is 19, so I removed 3 for the back. So if you're making for 3 to 6 months, which is 17 inches, so you removed 3, you'll be making chain that's about 14. But if you feel like the 3 inches is too much, you can do 16. You can remove 2. So instead of doing 14 inches, you do 15. Yeah, 15 or 16. So it's either you remove between 3 inches or 2 inches. So you can just do whatever works for you. So I'll go ahead and make a chain that is 16 inches long. And I hope my explanation is not confusing you. So I'll go ahead and complete my chains, and I'll come and let you know the number of chains I did. So right here I chained 75, and this measures around 15 and a half, which stretches up to 60. And remember, crochet is stretchy. When stretched, remember my actual measurement is 19, so as you can see that we have it up to 19 inches and even beyond that. So 75 chains is perfect for me. So remember to stretch a little, just give it a little stretch when making your foundation chain. So I have 75. I will go ahead, I will chain 3 more. I'll chain 2 more, 1 2. So 75, 76, 77. So I added 2 more chains, which is my turning chain. So I'll yarn over. I'll skip the 2 chains I added and the first one, so meaning I'll be skipping 3 chains in total. 1 2 3, and these 3 chains we count as our first double crochet. So I'll skip 1 2 3, and on the 4th stitch right there, I'll go right inside and make a double crochet. Well, I think I'll be working that in the back bump. So 1 2 3 4, the fourth chain, I'll flip that over. This is the back bump right here at the back. I'll go right in. So I yarn over, I'll grab my yarn, pull out a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'll yarn over, I'll put through the first 2, I'll yarn over, put through the last 2. So this is what we have. So right now we have 2 double crochets because this is our chain 3, is our first double crochet. So moving to the next, I'll yarn over again. I'll pick the next back bump right there. I'll pull out a loop, yarn over, put through the first 2, yarn over, put through the last 2. So we just made our next double crochet. So this is what we are going to be repeating all through. You work in the back bumps and you work your double crochet all through. So I will go ahead and complete all my double crochets. So at the end, we are going to have 75 double crochets in total, including our chain 3. So when I have all of this done, I will come back and let you know the next thing to do. So I have my 75 double crochets done, and this is what it looks like when I measure it. It stretches to 19 after fully stretched, but the fact is the top will not be this stretched. Remember that we'll be lacing it at the back, so that will be covering that will cover some of the inches we left. So this is what it's going to look like. So right now, moving on to the next, we are going to chain up 3. 1 2 3. We are always going to chain 3 at the beginning of every round, so of every row. So we chain 3. After chaining, I turned. See this very first stitch, I'm going to skip it. This chain 3 counts as my first double crochet, so I'm going to skip this. I'll move to the next. So I yarn over, I'll go right in, pull out a loop, yarn over, put through the first 2, yarn over, put through the next 2. So it's just what we did for the first round. Just go ahead and work our regular double crochet. This step is super fast and super simple. All we are going to do is continue repeating double crochets until we have the length we want. So I'll go ahead and complete this row. I'll come back and show you how to start the next row and the measurement we need for each sizes. So this is what I have. I want to work my very last double crochet. The very last double crochet we go on this chain 3. So do not forget that. Remember, it's our first double crochet. So I'll go right there at the top and work my last double crochet. So we just completed row 2. So for row 3, like I said, we are always going to chain 3. So that's our first stitch. We are going to skip here. This first stitch, we are going to skip it and move to the next. And we're also going to start that over again. So to avoid repetition, the thing is, we are going to keep repeating this until we have the length of our top. The length we are considering is from under the arm. So that's like under the armpit to the waist length, because we are going to be working the strap separately after we are done with the length and the body of the top. So we are going to work on the strap like this. So the length we want to achieve is from the underarm to the waist. So for size 0 to 3 months, the measurement is 6 inches. For 3 to 6 months, the measurement you need, the length you need is 6.5. For 6 to 12 months, it is 7.5. I will have that on the screen. And for 12 to 18 months, which I am doing, it's about 8 inches. And for 12 months to 20, for 18 months to 24 months, that's about 2 years, you're going to consider around 8.5 inches. Like I said, I will have it written on the screen so you can check it out. So I'll go ahead and keep going back and forth with my double crochets until I have the required length for my top. So when I have this done, we'll come and move to the next thing of the top. So go ahead and do this, and when I'm done, I'll come back and let you know the next thing to do. So here is my top. I have about 18 rows in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So 18 rows is what I did, and it gave me around 7.5 inches. Remember, I'm supposed to do 8. So the remaining half is going to cover the edging. The edging we are going, excuse me, the edging we are going to have here at the base, and we are going to work a single crochet across. So that's going to cover for that. So once you have the base of your top done, so we are going to be working on this edge, and this is what I'm going to do. My chain 3 spaces, or this chain 3 is going to serve as my lacing hole. So this is what I will do. I chained 1. You see right here across this, where we finish with double crochet, we are going to be working 2 single crochets, but we will be working this in the stitch. So I'll go, let me check that. So basically, let's just work 2 single crochets across, because we are going to, if I say I'm going to work 2 single crochet in the stitch, because I have 3 chains here, when lacing it up, it's going to be quite confusing. So let's just work 2 single crochet in each space. So I'll go right in here, inside that space, I'll work 2 single crochet. I'll jump to the chain 3 space, I'll work 2 single crochets. So we are going to be using this hole for our lacing. So the next, I'll work 2 single crochet. So practically this is what we are going to do. We are going to repeat this. Go in, work your first single, then your next single. So we go ahead and repeat this until we get to the very last chain 3 here. When we do that, I'll come and let you know how we are going to work the edge in here. So after completing that, you can see what we have. So this is going to serve as our lacing hole. So we are moving to the base right here. You see this last space, I will add 1 more single crochet, so that's 3 single crochets in total, and I will skip 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Into the third, I'll yarn over. I'll go ahead and work 5 double crochets in total inside that same stitch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have 5 double crochets done. I'll skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, then into the third, I'll work a single crochet. So we just did our first edging, our first shell stitch. So that's what we will be repeating, and to repeat that, this is what we are going to do. I'll yarn over, I'll skip 2 stitches, the next 2, 1, 2, going to be skipping those, and I'll move to the third, which is this, and work 5 double crochets in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have 5 double crochets. I'll skip 2, 1, 2, and in the third stitch I'll go ahead and work a single crochet. So that's going to be the repetition. So you go ahead, you skip 2, you work 5 double crochets, you skip 2 and work a single crochet, skip 2, 5 double crochets, skip 2, a single crochet. So you go ahead and repeat this until you get to the very last stitch, until you get to the end. So I'm right here at the end. After working my last 5 double crochet, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 double crochets left. So normally, remember, we skip 2 and work a single crochet in the third. So I'll go ahead and skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth I'll work a single crochet. So the very last stitch I have left, I'll just work a single crochet inside the last stitch. So that's how I finish. Look at that edging. The scallop is beautiful. Look at that. So right now we are going to repeat the same thing we did here, the same thing we did right here by the side. We are going to repeat the same thing on this side, which is working two single crochets inside each row, double crochet or chain 3. I'm going to hide this end, so I'll just go right inside and work 2 single crochet. Remember we did 3 here, so I'll repeat the same thing here. I added 1 more, so I'll move to the next. I'll work 2 single crochets, the next 2 single crochets. So go ahead, repeat this till you get to the top. When you get to the top, you just work single crochet in each and every of your stitches. When you work your two double crochets and you get here, you just go ahead and work at the top here. This is the top, this is the upper part of our top, while this is the upper part of our top, this is the base. This will be at the base. So when you get to the top here, you work single crochet inside each and every of your stitches till you get back to right here where we started. So when I have this done, the side and the top, I'll come and let you know the next thing to do. So this is what it looks like after working my single crochet across the top, and I work the second side. This is what it looks like. So I'll be lacing up my top using this wider hole. So you can use any, it's fine. And this is what the base looks like. Look at that edging, very beautiful. So after working my last single crochet, I'll just go right into the very first single crochet by the side and I'll slip stitch. I'll chain 1 and fasten off. Actually, we are done with the base of the top. So this is the front. I'm going to fold this to the back. What we have left to do right now is we are going to add the straps and also make the bow. We are going to be adding a big bow right here in the front. So I want to measure that what the full length is. You can see I have my 8 inches achieved. You can see I have my 8 inches already. So with the edging, I was able to get my 8 inches. So for the straps, I did one already. So I'll be explaining how I did that for the second strap. So this is what I did. I counted 20 stitches in the middle. This is going to be the space for the neck, the chest area. So I counted remember my stitches is 75. So your own stitch count might be different from mine, because if your foundation chain is different from mine, or the size you're making is different from mine, you might need to adjust that to the size you're making. So I have 75. So I counted 20 for the middle. I marked 20 stitches in the middle. So for one side, I counted 28, which brought me to this point. For this side, I counted 27. Remember, I had 75. So I have the 20 stitches in the middle, the exact middle. So this is what we are going to be doing. I want my strap to be a little thick, so I have this thickness. In case you want yours thinner, you don't want it this thick, you can just, instead of doing 5 double crochets like I did, you can consider doing 4 or maybe 3. If you are doing for size 0 to 6 months or 3 months, you don't need to do up to 5. You might be needing to consider just 4 or 3. So that depends on you. So for the strap, how I did it, so I have my 20 stitches in the middle untouched. I'm not touching that at all. So I'll grab my yarn. I made a slip knot. You see, this is my 20th stitch, and from this place, this is my 28th stitch. So I'll count 5 stitches to this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So right here. So I'll work back like this. So starting from my marked stitch, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in case you are doing 4, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you are doing 3, you just count 3. So I'll go ahead. I'll chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, which is my very first double crochet. This counts as a stitch. So I'll go into the next. I'll work a double crochet. That's the second. I'll work a double crochet. That's the third. A double crochet. That's the fourth. And the very last one, I'll remove my stitch marker, and we have the first row done. So practically we are just going to be repeating that back and forth. I did 14 rows for this. I did 14. So if you are doing for 0 to 6 months, you might consider doing just 12. And if you are doing for 0 to 3 months, you might consider doing just 10. So you just need to adjust that. This is for size 12 to 6 to 18 months. So that's why I have 14. So after doing that, I'll turn. I want my edges to be straight. As you can see what I have here, it is straight. You can't see any chains by this side. So this is what I did. After turning, I'll go into my very first stitch right here. I'll go in without any chain. After working my last double crochet, as you can see, I don't have any chain. I'll just go directly into my very first double crochet, my first stitch. I'll work a single crochet. And I'll go, can you see my stitch? I'll go inside my stitch right here by the side. Can you see? I pick that and I'll work another single crochet. So more like we worked 2 single crochets together. Like we worked 2 single crochets on each other, on top of each other. So that height gave us our first double crochet. I hope that's not confusing. Let me show you that again. So into my very first stitch, I'll just go ahead, work a single crochet, and I will go into my stitch. As you can see, I'll go by the side, pull out a loop and work a single crochet again. So that's my first double crochet. I'll just go into the next stitch, I'll work a double crochet, I'll work a double crochet, and my last double crochet will be on top of my chain 3. So we just finished working the second row. So for the third, I'll turn again. As you can see, I did not chain. I'll go into my very first stitch, I'll work a single crochet, and I'll go by the side again, at the side of my single crochet. I'll go into that stitch, pull out a loop and work a single crochet. So that's my first double crochet. So this is what we are going to be repeating. I'll go back and forth until I have my 14 rows. So if you are doing 0 to 6 months, I suggested 12, and 0 to 3 months, I suggested 10. So go ahead and work your the strap, and I'll come back and show you how to do the joining. So I have my second strap. So to join, this is the back. You can see our edging. This is the front. You can see that it's neater right here on this side. So this will be the front, and right here will be the back. So I'm going to fold this. Remember, we are going to have our top in this form. When you are joining, you don't need to bring it right here. No, remember we left some space right here in the middle. So I'm just going to have that like this, and I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to be leaving just an inch away from the edge. So this is my first stitch here, right here. So just 1 inch right there. So that's me leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there, I'm leaving just 1 inch. So right from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm leaving 5 stitches. So from here, I'm going to mark that. Put this up to mark that, and so I just tried adjusting that. So make sure that your strap is not twisted. Make sure it's not twisted. So I'll bring this to the back, and before doing that, I'll chain one and fasten this up. I'll leave a tail, not too long, just something long enough for me to sew to the back. So I'll chain one and leave a tail around that length, and I'll fasten that up. So I'll grab my needle, I'll thread my needle with the yarn tail, and this was where I marked. This is where I will start the joining. So I'll bring this like this. So I'm going to count forward 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So like I said, if you are doing 4 stitches, you are only going to count 4 stitches. So that's how we are going to sew together. So that's the first. I'll go into the second. I'll pick the second stitch. That's 2. To the third, pick the third stitch. Into the fourth, I'll pick the fourth stitch. And the very last one right here, I'll pick the last one also. So I'll go back into that same space so that I can make a knot, just like so, and we have that joint. I'm going to weave in that hand later. So this is what we have. We have our straps joined. Look at that, easy peasy. So the next thing we are going to be doing right now is, okay, let's make the strap. I'm going to chain around 20. I said 20. I'm going to chain around 200 to 220, long enough to strap this up, to lace this up. So because we are going to be lacing this up, so we need something long enough, and also after lacing it, that will be able to make a bow or tie it at the base. So I'll be chaining around 200 to 220, and after that, so that we don't take much of our time, so after chaining 220 or 200, I will go back into each chain and work a double crochet. I want something thick that's not going to show, that's going to cover up the back. That's my own preference. If you don't want it in that form, you can just work a single crochet into each and every of your chains. But for me, I'll be working with double crochet. So I'll go ahead, I'll chain and work my double crochet, and also I'll go ahead and weave in all these ends. After doing it, I will lace this up. I will come and show you what it looks like, and we'll come and make the very last thing, which is the bow. So this is what I have. After lacing it up, you can see what the back looks like right there. So I'll be using the remaining part to make a bow, just to tie off. So the last thing, and I weaved in all my ends, so the last thing I'll be doing is the bow we are going to be having in the front. So this also might not be the same number of rows or the stitch count I will do for my bow if you are doing another size, or you are using a different material for mine. So this is what I'm going to do. I want the bow, I want it bold and big right here in the front. If you want something small, please go for it, but for me, I want it bold and big. So I'll go ahead and chain 37, and from the fourth chain from the hook, I'll go ahead and work double crochet all the way down. So we have 35 double crochets in total, and I will go back and forth and work my double crochet row for 12 rows in total. So I'll go back and forth for 12 times, and because like I said, I want it big, but if you want something smaller or you are doing a smaller size, you might consider doing it for just 10 rows or 8 rows. It depends on the size you are making and what you want it to look like. So I'll go ahead and make that, and I'll come and show you the next thing to do. So after working that, this is what I have right here. So we are going to be forming this, we're transforming it into a bow. So I'll make a pinch in the middle. The stitch count here is, remember I had 35 stitches, so I'm at the very middle stitch, so I can have my bow like in the center. I can join it in the very center. So I'll grab a piece of yarn. So I'll thread my needle with that yarn, and I'll set this aside. So like I said, I'll make a pinch in the middle like this, and I'll bring this as well. So as you can see, we have the bow. We are going to be having this in the center like this. So I'll grab my needle. So in this very shape and form that we gave it, I'll go right here, that very center. So I'll pick this, and I think I'll count the stitches in the base as well, so that I can get the very center stitch at the base. So I just entered into the very middle stitch at the base, and I'll pull that. I'm not going to pull it through, and I will remove my stitch marker. There's nothing special that I'm doing right here. I'm just trying to form my bow. I'll go back inside, pass that through, and come right here by this side. So I'll just make a knot right here, and I'm not going to fasten this up because I'll be using this to sew. So after making the knot, I used my pin to place this in the center, in the middle, how I want it to be on the top, and this is what I have. So for my yarn tail from here, I passed it down to this side, so I'll be using that to sew this. And this yarn tail I have from the bow, when I made the bow, I'm going to use that to sew this side. So we're only sewing this side and this side. So there is nothing really special about the sewing. We'll just go in and out of our top. So I'll go inside, right there, and I'll come outside right here. I'll go inside, I'll come outside. So this is how we join the side, and when I'm done, I will make a knot and cut off my excess yarn, and I will do the same thing. I'll repeat the same thing for this side. So I'll go ahead and join the both ends, and I'll come and show you what the finished top looks like. So this is what I have after weaving in all my ends, and as you all know, I love being extra, but at the same time I love to keep it minimal. So I went ahead, I added some beads, some pearl beads around size 6. So I just put that across, not too much. So this is what our finished top looks like, and I hope you're able to make yours. So we have 2 down on this set, the pant and the top, and so we have 2 more items to go in this set. We have the bucket art and the bag. So I hope you find this video tutorial, I hope you find it helpful, and I hope you're able to make your own top. So please, if you find it helpful, which I believe you did, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment. So don't forget to subscribe if you are not yet a subscriber, and you can support the channel by subscribing to any of my membership plan, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop the next thing in this set. So I'll see you next time. Bye.